Right. Looks like it's looking good there. We are live there, Jackson. What's the delay over there? Check it out. All right. Looks like it's looking good there. All right. Good. Press record here. We'll save on the computer.
All right. So we're good to go. Welcome, everybody. This is episode 265 of Boog Life, Pitted with Action and Manny V.
We're plugging away. Where you need to set up something special for the 300th episode. So if you have any ideas, Jackson, or if you guys are watching, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, it's coming up sometime in 2024. We'll be hitting that 300 mark, and we'll definitely be sure to celebrate in style.
What if it lands on the beginning of April around your birthday while we're camping in Baja? I should have the Starlink system by then, so we probably could do. What do you think about doing the 300th anniversary pitted? Everybody invited, bodyboard camping in Baja.
Totally down for that. That sounds like a real good time.
So if you guys are interested in that, let us know. And we'll make that happen. But yeah, I think all out Boog Life bodyboard trip down in Baja would be pretty sick.
Yeah, and just for those of you who aren't quite catching what we're talking about, April, my 49th birthday is coming up, and I plan on spending the weekend camping down in Baja with the master of good times himself, Manny Vargas. Celebrate in style, and I'd be stoked to celebrate with any and all of you.
Yeah, shoot, let's make that happen. Jordan, how's the audio? And please let us know how the audio is on the video as well. But Jordan's in camping trip in Baja, first part of April, Boog Life, and we'll just make it the 300th episode, whether it is or not, and the 49th birthday for Action. I think that we need to write that down, but remind me, we'll make that happen.
Yes, most definitely. Well, let's get rolling right into it, Manny. Shout outs. My shout outs this week go to San Diego Bodyboarding and 6-time bodyboarding world champion Guilherme Tamega. San Diego Bodyboarding organized a last minute meetup at Tyson Street Park for Saturday morning, and GT was there. I cannot express how stoked I was. One, to be there at Tyson Street. The waves were much better than anticipated. Glassy conditions, reeling wide open, spitting barrels. And you know what? I got to paddle out with my good friend GT, Randy Whitmire from San Diego Bodyboarding, and I scored what was easily my best barrel of 2023. And I'm not just talking story, because Randy was down the line cheering me on as I scooped in and got covered.
Damn. Was it a left or right?
It was a gaping left-hander. Like, honestly, if I were on the knee, I could have put my arms out and had room in there. I had my brand new Custom X V23. I scooped in, locked in my line, and I was off to the races. When the backwash hit the wave, it flared out. I ducked out the doggy door, and I was so pumped on that. No claim, just calling it a walk-off. That's the session. I'm not topping that. I'm out.
Did you come out of the barrel? Is that what happened?
I came out clean, man. I skirted underneath the lip as the flare out came down. And, my immediate reaction was no fucking way I just made that.
Sick.
So, smile from ear to ear. It made my weekend. And then to be able to catch up with GT on his first trip to Oceanside in nearly a decade.
Oh, damn.
Always stoked to cruise with GT. I've had sessions with them in Brazil, at what is basically our former home break, Postal Cinco. I've ridden with him at Pipeline. Now I've gotten a ride with him here in Oceanside. Always stoked to, hit the water with him. And even just hanging out on the beach, some really positive conversation always. And one of my favorite human beings on the planet. And on a tie into last week's episode, last week we were jokingly discussing if we had to pick one bodyboarder to train us, who would it be? And I mentioned it in passing to him, and GT, being GT was like, whatever you need, bro, we're in this together. You need any help, any advice, just let me know.
Yeah, I mean, he's a totally down to earth, and we're both grateful to have him as a friend. And he did spend a lot of time in Oceanside. He and Patty Serrano were really good friends. And whenever he was in town, I believe he stayed with her and put in his time in Oceanside's, barreling waves. And yeah,
he even lived here full time for a good 10 years. So, he considers Oceanside, a secondary home. He loves it here. He loves cruising. He loves riding the waves over by the pier. And I don't blame him. I'll tell you this as a little aside. Since I moved out here 2 years ago, my best waves have all come in Oceanside.
yeah. I mean, when the south swells roll in, even with these norths coming in, it's fully exposed to each direction of the swells that do roll in at low tide, mid tide, and the sandbars are on. No, Oceanside can deliver. So definitely put it on the map if if San Diego bodyboarding have another meetup. Definitely go, and if you get waves, you're going to score.
Yeah. So long story short, San Diego bodyboarding GT. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Is he still here?
No, he was flying out last night.
Okay. It was just a stopover.
Yeah, he was kind of on a family vacation, cruised through Arizona, went to the Grand Canyon, came here to do some promos. Saturday, he was at Tyson Street Park for the paddle out. Yesterday, he was at California Surf Museum for an event honoring Tom Moray. And then back on a plane to Hawaii.
Nice, back home. Well, I'm bummed I missed him, but I'm sure I'll be able to see him in the future. Shout outs for me. I'm gonna throw it out to Begonia Martinez, Bego. I looked at some of the commentary of the live webcast this today, and her and Lucas were delivering the commentary, and she has come a long way. She's very confident and is delivering, both in English and Spanish, which is hard to do. And that's what the IBC is asking for. And to have somebody in her position to be able to pull that off seamlessly, man, she's come a long way. And I'm very proud of her. I'm very stoked that she held in tight. It's not an easy job, as you and I both know. And for her to be doing it at that level and, doing it well, my shout out goes to Baco, holding it down to the commentary on the IBC World Tour.
Well, speaking of which, I was up early this morning, 3 a.m. to be precise, to watch Fronton. And by 4 a.m., I was trading texts with Bigo, and she wanted to thank you and I for our support of the IBC World Tour.
Oh, wow.
So perfect tie-in.
Yeah. So yeah, shout outs to Bago. Doing a great job. Make sure you see the live webcast when they do go down. You can follow them, and they will put out something on their Instagram letting you know if it's on or not.
All right. And now into bodyboarding news. First and foremost, I wanted to update everybody. The New Jersey Bodyboarding Club Halloween Bodyboarding Beach Bash was supposed to go down on Saturday. Unfortunately, Mother Nature had other ideas. The forecast for Saturday: surf in the 0 to 1 foot and flat range, and heavy winds and rain. So not exactly an inviting beach day. The event has been rescheduled for October 28th. So I will keep you all abreast of that situation and let you know how things go down. And with that said and done, let's revisit the IBC World Tour.
Hold on, I got bodyboarding news. It's pretty much just reiterating what I have planned for Epic Surf Tours bodyboarding trips. Again, Costa Rica with Jacob Romero. It looks like it will be happening in mid-May. So I have yet to finalize all the things, but we will be staying on the beach of Playa Hermosa, walking out to the black sand beach and going out and riding some waves in Costa Rica with Jacob. And if the right wedge up the road, about 40 minutes away, is firing, then we're going to get in the van and head that way to, to watch and ride. But this wave is amazing. I think that's why Jacob wants to go back. Right hand wedges. It's like his MO. And Cabo Freak Fest. I still have yet to invite a guest. So if you guys are watching, who would you like to have in Cabo next year if it was one person? So I'm going to throw this out on the Book Life Patreon page as well. So keep an eye out for that question, but I have yet to ask anyone, and I need to do that soon so I can prep that web page on epicsurftours.com. So those are pretty much the only two bodyboarding events aside from the Baja bodyboarding camping trip that we're going to put together in early April.
All right.
So that's it. Bodyboarding news for me.
Back into the IBC World Tour, the season finale, Fronton, Gran Canaria, men's world title on the line, junior men's world title on the line. They're already done with day 2. They've gotten through, I want to say, the first 4 rounds. Forecast is calling for a massive swell to hit, not really coinciding very well with the tides. So they may very well have to put the event on hold during the peak of this incoming swell. But what we've seen so far, the Peruvians are out in force. There's a handful of Australians making their presence felt. We've even got Craig Wetter from California at the event. And, things are plugging right along, epic event, killer competition. And again, throwing things back to something we were discussing last week. Last week, we were talking about eventually making helmets a requirement at Waves of Consequence on the tour, like Fronton. Well, as part of this year's safety protocols, they have now made helmets mandatory for the junior men's division. The men's division, they can still decide for themselves whether or not they want to wear a helmet, but for the junior men's, not an option. It has been mandated by the IBC and the local government as part of the safety protocols to avoid any head traumas or major head injuries.
And I'm going to agree with that full on, just because I know what it's like out there in some heavy conditions. I was out there on a 3 to 4 foot day and it was low tide, and just seeing the reef and it just goes from super deep water to the shallow shelf. I mean, I would almost say make the men wear them too.
I tell you what, even this morning watching the live webcast, I was watching guys ride, and the water is so clear and so shallow. You can see just this thin layer of water shimmering over top of this reef shelf. And I'll be honest, I'd be scared as hell to land a maneuver there because it feels like you'd be going right into the reef.
Yeah. And with the water so clear, it looks like it's coming right at you at 100 miles an hour.
You've got to have serious mental fortitude on top of having legit wave riding skills to be able to handle Fronton. That's a completely different beast.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting how the coming years, I think that may go actually have the men wear the helmets too, because everyone's putting it on the line, even the juniors. And I think we got the highlights from day number 2 ready.
Yeah, the Bug Life video of the week. They finished day 2 of competition this morning. They've already got the highlights for day 2 up and ready to go. So cue it up, Manny.
All right, let's hope the audio is going through today. So if you guys are watching, just give me a thumbs up if the audio is coming through. I did make a couple adjustments. If not, then we'll just watch the action. And Jackson and I will talk over it. But man, the right is so damn hollow. Ryan talking about how Oceanside is the most hollow he's seen it in years.
Stoked to score it that way.
Yeah. But thank you guys for chiming in, Jordan, Ryan, and I think Bladham is also watching. But towards the end of the videos, we already watched this, and it's cool to see this kid right here. He's not a kid anymore. He's growing up, but he's the Peruvian rider Pitbull, who's just coming out like massive. He's no fear. There's the keyhole, but yeah, how's the music coming through, guys? Oh my God.
Massive.
Yeah. Nobody's holding back. Ever.
You can't. This is one of those waves where if you hesitate, it could be fatal.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Dale Jimenez on the mic on the beach. He's another legend. I love that guy. And I believe these are the juniors. Like,
you can tell the difference between the men's and the juniors. The juniors obviously rocking the helmets.
yeah. Okay. Got it.
But we do have a handful of juniors also competing in the men's. So, some hard charging young kids out there, man.
Oh, damn. Oh, you know what? Here, let me do this. This might help. There we go. Oh my gosh. They do know how to put an event together. I mean, when you have the best wave on the planet and a location where you can have a party that goes into the night, into the morning. Yeah, definitely pretty epic.
I've never been there, but I've been in awe of this spot ever since the 2010 Red Bull Wild Wild Wave Invitational.
Yeah.
And since then, every year I look forward to watching this event. I don't care if I have to get up in the wee hours of the morning to watch along.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right, let me pause this. So that's the Peruvian kid. I paused this earlier and I'm going to pause it again for you guys, but look at this. I mean, how high? This is Pitbull, the Peruvian kid. And I mean, from the top of his board to the flats where he actually lands, what do you call that? 20 feet? 15?
He's up there, bro. That's
Yeah.
a massive, massive aerial.
Oh my gosh. So from the bottom of his fin to the flats, it's like still 10, 12 feet.
My ribs hurt just watching the landing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He usually riders, when they get to this end bowl on the left, they're landing on this flat spot on top of the wave and then coming back down. But he's landing right on the freaking flats. Check this. Oh my gosh. That was huge. That's the Peruvian Pitbull. And he's definitely one to watch at this event, not only in the juniors, but also in the men's. So there you have it.
Yeah, so some incredible action going down already in the early rounds at Fronton. And I can't wait to see them get deeper into the field and into the main event.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting to watch. And we talked about commentating along with the live webcast, but gosh, what time do you have to wake up for that?
I was up at 3 a.m. and they were already well underway.
Yeah, we may have to pass on that. What we could do is take a portion of the recorded video and maybe commentate over that. But yeah, commentating alongside the live is probably not going to happen.
As I was joking with Bigo this morning, I need more coffee.
It's so funny because coffee is like gold at this event, at any one of these events for the staff, from the judges to the commentators to anybody working behind the scenes. Coffee is like gold.
Don't talk to me until I've had my first cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. That's how everybody is. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for that finding that. That was perfect.
All right. And with all of that said and done, we're already at Monday Motivation. Last week, I went with 3 words from Bear Grylls. This week, I'm going with 2 words from 6-time world champion Guilherme Tamega. Tamo junto. It means together. All of us are in this together. It's up to us to support one another, to push one another, and pick one another up when we're down. I'll leave it at that.
Perfect. Keep your eyes peeled for the Baja bodyboarding camping trip. We're definitely going to make that happen.
And we'll see you next week for episode 266. Until then, time for some fish tacos, brother.
Yeah. We have to hold it a little bit so we can press end and YouTube.